This month's topic I chose home improvement, and a lot of it is because I've been painting my house and like cutting the baseboards and all that stuff. Um, and then I thought, oh well, doing stuff around the house is really handy. And so I'm gonna talk about that today. I want you all to feel free to jump in if you have any ideas on how to do certain things. I'm not the know everything guy. I'm just a guy that's willing to host the event and share what I know. So, um, first of all, like a lot of times when you think home improvement, you think nails, right? Hitting nails in. And I can use a hammer, and sometimes I'll just use my my prosthetic. But what I think is the best is why do a hammer when you can do a screw, you know? And it's good to use an impact drill. I like to hold it by the butt. I call this thing the butt. And then I'll use two hands to do it. And I'm hoping that that magnet holds, or if I line it up and then push it against where I'm trying to drill it and use my weight to hold it there, then I can screw it in. And of course, everything there's lots of drops all the time, right? We just
Yep.
have to live with them, especially if it's screws and nails and things like that that won't mess up your house. Like paintbrush is hard to live with it because then you got to clean it up. But screws and nails, I like to allow myself room for error. And then the other thing is like there are certain ones that are lighter, like this Ryobi is a lot lighter. And so lighter a lot of times is better because our grip strength is, or my grip strength with these rubber bands is not as strong as it used to be. But so I'll use this when I'm doing screws in like places that are not at home. This is easy to carry on the plane, and I use this to also the steering wheel thing, spinner knob. I can take
Yes.
this with me on an airplane and bring the steering wheel spinner knob and install it on a rental car. And that way I can drive the rental car. I can drive it without it, but it's much more safer with the spinner knob on there. How about you guys? Do you have any ideas on nails and hammers and screws?
I'm, Go ahead.
What's that?
Go ahead. I have the same thing. I use a heavier drill when I had hands, and I have found and I really haven't done anything useful with it. I'm just experimenting what I can do. But I went to a cheap Harbor Freight drill that I had bought one time because most of what I do is just using screws and small drill bits.
Yeah.
Uh, and I found it's easier for me to hold the lighter, cheaper one than my good solid one that I have got accustomed to. So yeah,
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Do
no,
you
you're.
do you use hooks?
I have a hook from a right hand, and it's in the shop right now.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but it's a myoelectric, it's not mechanical.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
and it's so funny because the last 2 weeks I have been at UT Southwestern prosthetic school, letting them uh, make body powered hands clips for me. So the last 2 weeks is the only time I've ever gotten to use them. Of course, I've been around them at events, but I've never understood really how they worked. It's really interesting. So
Yeah.
um, it's good. But no, it's myoelectric, but it's it's on the body powered. I got immediate reaction to what I wanted to do. The myoelectric, I haven't mastered yet.
Yeah. It takes a while.
Yeah, but I got time, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really experimented too much with trying to use a hammer or a drill. Hopefully, once I get my new prosthetic with the electric elbow, that I'll be able to use that more often. And because it's hard with the one I have now with the elbow that I got to keep unlocking and locking in different positions
Mhm.
to use. So I don't have the two hands, one to hold and one to squeeze the button. So
Yeah.
maybe when I get that new one, I will definitely try to experiment with that.
Hmm. How about you, Lee? Any luck with screws or nails?
Uh, no, I've trained up my wife to do that, Sam. I'm the foreman.
All
there,
right.
there
Good
you go.
job. You moved up in the world to the foreman, huh?
That's right. Yeah, I'm management now.
All right. Now you got an apprentice.
Yep.
Yeah,
I showed Andy what I do with a
I
hammer.
had,
Let me grab one.
okay.
So with the hammer, I usually choke up like this. Hi.
Okay.
Ah,
You're not gonna have that much control if you choke up down low. And then I bend this wrist. Now I'm hitting like this. Bam, bam, bam. You
Okay.
see the handle is up against my elbow.
Mhm.
And so it
Right.
looks like
you know,
that.
but I've tried with the hook, and I choked up low like that. Uh, was not effective. What you're showing me now, I believe I can do something with. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
no problem. Yeah, I tried to choke down low first, and it's like you don't have as much control. You're just busting holes in the
Exactly.
wall.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. The other thing I brought to show is like when you're doing, there's a lot of tools that have the safety button that you have to hold down
Yes.
while you're doing it. For example, the lawnmower. And what I'll do is I'll take this twist tie and it's rubber and it's really grippy. I found it at Lowe's. And I'll just wrap it around the safety like this so that this twist tie is holding that clamp down that's on the lawnmower and I can just push it. And like it probably you're gonna lose a little bit of safety, but I know one thing is that you can't cut your hands off again, so that's
Oh,
okay.
yep,
And
yep.
then if you're smart, you won't put your feet under there. For those of us that have feet, and those of us that don't, it's not a problem,
Yep, that's right.
right? So yeah, that twist tie, they come in like a whole set of them at Lowe's, and there's small ones, big ones, and then like I've also found like these other safeties. I'll use electric tape and just tape down the safety button, and and I have to use a disclaimer because I'm not
No, sure.
recommending this, but it's just an idea. If you get hurts on your own. uh let's see. The other thing I brought too is hoses. Like one time when I first got hurt, I was worried about hoses a lot because that's how we watered the grass. Fortunately now I have a grass sprinkler system,
Mhm.
but I still use those hoses every once in a while. And there's this thing, it's called a quick disconnect.
Mhm.
So if you put this on the end of your hose, uh, and it is hard to screw on, but I use a pipe wrench on this black part, and then I'm able to tighten it really good. And you can find light pipe wrenches made of aluminum, and that's even better. And then I put this end on the spout, and what this does is if you push this in, you can insert this male end right here like this. That way you're not having to screw on things on your hose all the time. And it works better when you can like find something to squeeze on there, but we'll get her done.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like this. And then once you do that, you got to pull this other sheath down here. Now it's locked. It's kind of like what the firemen use to connect their hoses. It's like a quick disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I put that on all my
That's actually a
hoses.
good idea.
Yeah, put that on my hoses, my sprinklers, my sprayers. I even use it on, those weed killer stuff.
Right?
I'll just put a male end on.
Where do you buy those at? Home Depot or
They're at
Lowe's?
Home Depot and Lowe's, both places.
Okay.
Uh, one thing there is some that have screens right here to screen out little
Through the met.
particles, but I don't like
Yep.
the screen ones because I don't want to get them plugged up, But you can get a screened one if you want. The other thing I brought is this weed whacker. And it's by that company right there. It's called Works.
Yeah, it's electric.
Yeah, it's electric and it's light. And the spool is pre-wound. So all you need to do is pull off the end, and the hard part is to put this thing in once it's emptied. It is hard. I'll admit that, but it's better than having to wind up uh the spool by yourself.
Yeah.
The other thing about it is it's light, not heavy like those gas ones. Uh and
This is really able to me because I am blessed to have a lot of support. Uh, I really can't complain about help, but the one thing I complain about, I cannot get my grandkids to weed eat as often as I like.
yeah.
Uh, I'll pay everything, but it's like that is the one thing, and I would love to be able to. I did not even think about a light electrical one. I like that. So good, good.
Yeah. Uh does anyone have any other ideas they want to chip in or questions that you might have?
Have you
I
ever
really, I,
had to?
We'll go with Andy first. Go.
I was just going to ask, have you ever had any challenges? I don't know if you ever done replace screens in a house.
No, I haven't
Have
done
you ever
that yet.
tried that?
That would be hard.
No. Okay.
Have you tried it?
Yeah. Oh, when I had my hands,
Oh yeah. I did it when
but
I
no, I have
yeah.
not. I just threw my hook on. Um, I put it on to see if I could hold that hammer like you are, because my fingers are kind of in the way,
Oh.
and I could maybe pull them back and set them on top a little bit. I don't
Does
know. I'll have to try it.
does your you don't have a wrist on that, huh? It
No,
doesn't bend. doesn't
off,
flex.
yeah, it just comes off my wrist. It's a permanent spot that it stays in.
I see. There's another thing you could do is get a farmer hook. Have you seen a farmer
Farmer hook.
hook?
Like a hay hook.
No,
I'll grab one real fast. I'll be right back.
so has it been hard for you to adapt, Lee?
Um, well, like Steve, I've got really good support. So I've actually found it pretty easy in terms of getting up and walking everywhere. And you know, I found a little bone on the outside of my wrist here that serves as a finger for me, and so I
Okay.
can use the keyboard on my phone and my iPad and all that stuff. I'm actually the treasurer of our Stratacorp. I built a whole budget with just this little finger, a little bone sticking out
Wow.
or tendon. So that's going well. I just got my peer counseling accreditation, so I'll start doing that.
Right.
So life isn't bad, but there's a lot of things I can't do. Like I'm certainly not hammering anything into a wall for sure. Or
Right.
I think when
Lee,
I get body powered hooks, though, I might be able to attempt some of this stuff.
Lee, forgive me. I don't know.
Right.
Are you a new
Yeah.
amputee?
Yeah. 2020 was I had 4 amputations in 2020.
Okay. I'm above knee, double above knee, and I've got this much on my right hand and
Mhm.
that much. So I guess
Wow.
I'm a quad, but that was 2023. So I just passed a year.
Wow. Good for you.
But
That's awesome.
oh, in the weirdest way, as y'all know, I mean, this is a challenge and it's hard and there's
Mhm.
nothing about it. But my life is so enriched because of it, and I've met
Mhm.
some wonderful people, and we
Yeah.
never know God's plan, but this is
Well, you can definitely hear a positive spirit, and that makes all the difference right there.
Right.
it's anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack our
No
meeting here, but
worries.
No, you're good. Uh, as much as we're about passing along tips, it's about having peer-to-peer interaction. So
Mhm.
I was just gonna show you guys this farmer hook. It looks like this. It's like almost like
Hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
some
I've seen.
instrument of death or something. This little this little deal right here is let me see if I could point it out. Is actually I believe it's a nail holder right there.
Okay.
So this one is like it's called a work hook. I call it a farmer's hook. Um, it holds different. You could see the how the
Mhm.
shape is more for handles.
Right,
Showing
right, yeah.
Right.
uh and I got this hammer, but if I was to use this farmer's hook, I would choke up again right up there, and then I would have to use like this kind of motion. I'm trying
Yeah.
to do
Instead
it.
of
I'm trying to do it without flexing my wrist so that I can simulate what you're doing.
right.
If it was me, I would flex my wrist, but for you, I just hit it like this, dang, dang. And it might even work with your hook. If you hold it like that, choke up high and hit it.
Well, I'm definitely gonna try it.
The other one is like there's this one hook, it's called the Jaws, and it looks like this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Okay,
did see one of those before.
You've seen one?
I haven't seen one. Yes,
I seen one. I
They're heavy duty. The advertisements make it sound like you can roll stuff with it. But I wanted to see how the handle fits in here.
Now you look like the Incredible Hulk.
Right?
Mhm.
That's awesome.
That's a bit what mine looks like on the end of my Myoelectric, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you might have a Greifer.
I do, yeah.
Okay. Somebody gave me an extra Greifer. If you want it, you could take it.
I just spilled twice as much beer if I did that.
Uh,
So let's see how that handle fits in this hook. Well, the other cool thing about these jaws is it has its own wrist, its own flexion. And it's
Mm.
it's like very gentle, a
yes.
small,
Hmm.
maybe like a 20 degrees, but you can flex it a little bit. See, I'm
Okay.
flexing it up, flexing it down. That would add flexion to your hook there. Do you change out your hook?
Who?
Andy, I
And
think.
are you able to change
Me?
that out? Yeah.
I got a quick disconnect on it,
Oh, okay. So you
so
can
I could.
change it out.
Yeah, it's a little challenging trying. Well, if I had my other arm on, I could pull that back and then hold it up against something to pull it off.
So you could try using some of these other like hooks. Uh, and
Right.
sometimes your prosthetist will have a loaner. Sometimes depends on your prosthetist.
Yeah, I'm actually going there on the 13th. I'm gonna ask them about that. If they have some that I could try different styles.
Yeah, I would recommend that. The other thing is like if you're workman's comp, you can find a way to say this is necessary, then they'll buy it for you.
Well,
You know what I'm
that's what
saying?
they were supposed to do with the bowling hook and the bowling attachment and the golf attachment. And Hanger Clinic went ahead and got them for me, and they never got paid for them
Oh man.
because they're saying it's not necessary that I have to have those.
Yeah. Well,
So they're being sticklers.
on a sports equipment, it's gonna be hard because they can always say that. But
Right,
on things that are like non-sports, I need to take care of my yard, and
right,
that's a necessity, you know.
right. Yep,
The more things you can get them used to buying, the more they will throughout the rest of your life. See what I'm
right.
saying? If they're getting away with buying you nothing for a long time and all of a sudden you ask for something, oh, you didn't need this before. You've been not using nothing for 2 years, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I being a new amputee, I'm gonna duly note what you just told me just now.
Hmm.
Um, I can see how that would affect my long term acceptance. So just thank you for that.
Yeah. When you say new, how new are you, Steve?
So I was uh, in April of 23, so I'm just past a year.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty new to me, but I, I I'm doing great. I mean,
Yeah.
I was telling him it sucks and it's hard and it's a challenge, but I'm doing great, and hopefully they have a whole lot of years to learn how to adjust to this. So
Hmm.
my family is extremely supportive, and um, I know that as long as I keep trying, I'll keep succeeding and keep stacking on the wins. So
Yep.
I
I'm
tell you
pretty
what,
sure. I'm pretty sure you'll be doing some videos in a couple of years, Steve.
you know, I honestly, I've made a couple. I have figured out I can get out of my chair. I'm above knee, like I say. I can get
Yeah.
out of my chair, get the floor, and play with my grandkids. Uh, I get on a little furniture dolly and zoom around the house. I made a video of how I get down in the floor and how I get back in my chair, and mainly to the double above knee amputees.
Yeah.
I've been told 2 or 3 people that are trying it now that did afterwards.
Oh,
I made a it. Yeah, I don't know if it fits into what we're talking about, but uh, I have 20 acres where I'm at, and a big part of my before the amputations, I get on my golf cart and go back to my pond and just go over my property. And for 8 months, I had to ask my grandkids or my wife or somebody, can somebody take me around?
mm,
And what I figured out, the a pickup tool that costs $10, like a grabber to pick up trash,
yeah.
Mhm.
when you turn that thing sideways, it's exactly fit on the gas pedal.
Oh,
So I had my son put a bolt through it, and I can hand control my golf cart now, and it has opened my world up. Now
yeah.
I don't have brakes. I can't stop. I have to be sensible about where I stop. But oh my gosh. And I did a little video on that, and I've got some good responses on it. And I'm just wanting to be helpful on things that I do a search and I can't find.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but other than that, there's so many things that I think about that is already covered, and there's so many good people have taken the time. I don't want to just add on to what they've done if it already makes sense to me. But if I find something that there's a space for, I don't mind putting it in there.
Yeah.
Great.
That's how I ended up with a whole YouTube channel.
Hell, it just it's amazing how um, I've been asked to go back and talk to amputees at both the hospital and the rehab center, and we all have known the people that you can tell they just don't have the effort. But man, I have met some wonderful Andy at the uh, bowling tournament thing we went to. I remember thinking I'm not going to bowl worth a damn, but I want to go meet everybody and
Mhm.
plug in the community.
Right.
And it is this upper limb community and Sean and the whole bunch. I probably am more interactive with this bunch than any other bunch I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Just lovely people. I'm sorry I'm sidetracking, but
No,
Nope.
big
they
kudos to
do
them.
a great.
Yeah. Uh, Lee, you said you're doing like a peer mentor
Yeah,
program?
it's through the Amputee Coalition.
Hmm.
Um, they do training to
Your visitor.
peer visitor. Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
So I've just started that. The my first client is going to be actually a homeless person, which will be interesting. And
Oh.
he had his legs amputated, but I think he lost his fingers due to being out in the cold in Alberta, Canada, in the wintertime.
Mm.
And I gather he doesn't think there's another quad amputee on the planet, so he'll be
Hmm.
shocked when I walk up to his door.
Yeah.
Oh, so you get to go visit them?
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. Hopefully it'll help him maybe turn his life around a bit.
No doubt it'll have some kind of impact somehow.
Yeah.
Hope so.
And Steve, you said you're above knees?
Yes, I'm above knee, and uh, that's been a challenge. I can walk on a walker. I'm on my second set of prosthetics.
Mm.
I'm with Hanger, and they are just they're wonderful. I I have zero problems, and they're really trying to work with me.
That's
Uh, the uh, the issue I have is I've got both my hands. My left hand, I wish I'd had it out, but my left hand is a myoelectric with fingers,
mm-hmm.
and it is less useful than my myoelectric hook.
Mm-hmm.
I
Hmm.
do a lot more with my hook. Um, I don't know where we'll go with the left hand there, but I'm still learning. I can only spend so much time on each thing. I work on either right hand or my left hand or my legs, and
Yeah.
with my legs, I'm not able to put liners on yet.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so that's something I always have to have help with. But I will get there just in time.
I have a friend, Steve, that's a burn survivor, and
Yes.
he has on his he has a little bit of his palm left on his other hand, but he also was able to get his prosthetist to make a hook so he can do two sides hooks.
I
Um,
uh I'm probably going to go there eventually, but I first I want to get what I've got already working well, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
we'll tweak
Hmm.
from there.
understandable.
Um,
Well,
but yeah,
I think Steve needs to meet Mike. Mike's a quad, and he puts his own liners and everything on himself.
Oh, Mike, yep,
Yeah, he's got
so
some great videos.
yeah.
Yeah,
I, I, hey Andy, I know
yeah.
you and I. Can you send me his information, or so I can hook up and find him?
Um,
On
I don't have contact for Mike. I think Sam
Okay,
does
okay,
though.
all right.
uh, would you like his email or
Just
his?
somewhere I can get this information, or I can visit with him because where I have a problem, I can't get my liner up close to my crotch. It's
Yeah.
without fingers stick it in there, and my hook so far has not been reliable enough. Um, I don't. I'm not controlling it well enough to where I don't beat the crap out of myself when I'm trying
So
to.
on the liner,
I
uh,
just yeah. I just want to visit with him maybe, and maybe he'll have a video showing how he does it.
Well,
I got
I
one.
believe Mike is
He's below knee, I think.
below knee, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He is.
Or does he have his? Yeah.
Hold
That
on.
makes
I got a video. I'll pull it up. But here's what I recommend you, Steve, keep in mind is that instead of putting on your hook to do it, use your stumps to pull up the liners.
Hmm.
Roll them back.
I
I'm
can get them. I can get them
pretty sure that's
almost.
how Mike does it.
I can get them almost up to my thigh,
Mm-hmm.
but uh, it 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 gets right up in my personal area,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where or I haven't yet. I hate the word can't. I can't yet
Yeah.
uh, push it in there. I just haven't figured it out. But it I I tried hard for a long time, and I finally decided I'm gonna just I'll get help getting the liners, and that way I'm not spending all day being frustrated. And I concentrate on walking. So, but let's see what I did here. Did I lose you?
No, we're here. I'm just gonna show you a video.
Oh, I know. I see. I'm new to this Zoom thing. Things are different here. Okay.
Yeah.
How you doing? Mike St. Ange, quad amputee since 2000. Uh, my next video, I'm going to talk about liners, donning and doffing liners in a couple different ways, and as well as the prosthetic socks. So I have one liner on, one liner off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fully invert this liner and show you how that puts it on. Okay. So you'll see me a lot of times utilizing or not utilizing the upper prosthesis. Uh, for this portion, I will not be using the arm. I just use the residuals. Once again, it's not what's missing, it's what do you have left and how can you best utilize that. So to invert the
Yes.
liner, I'm going to take one residual, place it inside of the liner, and with the other one, I'm going to start rolling it down on one edge, and I'm going to slowly work that edge around. I'm going to try not to let the thing roll up like a donut. I want it to stay nice and flat so that when I put this on, it will go on nicely, hopefully. We'll see. I do this multiple times a day, and the first time of the day, I might take like 5, 6, 8, 10 times doing this. So what I'm doing now is my arm is still inside of it, and I'm using my leg, and it's like a 3-point hold. So one point is my leg, the second one is the arm inside, the third one is over here. So I can drag the liner and my arm like that across the skin. I can come through the other side and push it out, fully invert it, or sometimes what I'll do is just kind of, spin it back around this way and then come at it again and then give it a shake like that to get it to fully invert. And what I'm going to pay attention to is I want to fully get that cupping out. So I'm going to fully invert it. I'm going to squish it. Okay, so that there's no more cupping. I'm going to try to make that as flat as possible. I like to do this on a level surface. It doesn't matter if I'm in my wheelchair and utilizing the bed like I am now, or if I'm on the floor, or if I'm on a bench, or whatever it is. As long as I'm flat, the same height of what my residual leg and where the liner is. So from there, again, all those core tenets about range of motion, flexibility, all that kind of stuff, you're definitely utilizing that. So I get it started, and what I'm doing here is I'm taking a peek. So I'm actually pulling down on it so I can see where the pin is and make sure that it's centered. And so what I'm imagining is I'm imagining a line from my femur coming straight out in this plane as well as the second plane.
I'm gonna pause that because he has knees. It looks like.
Yes. Yes.
But that's him. I'll post his channel in the chat.
All right. Thank you. So I very much like what he I've thought a version, but what he said was, it's not what you have left; it's what you use. I love that. That was,
Yeah, it's not what you're missing; it's what you have left.
yeah, it was very profound. Very, I like that.
Uh, he also mentioned a small thing, which was flexibility. Those are all the things you're working on. He mentioned that, and
Yes,
I think it comes over time because you're in a different situation where you need to reach down
yes.
with.
But I stretch several times a week. I'm really working on that. Plus, I get up and out of my chair every day, uh, around the floor. I'm actually very, very active. Uh, I went tandem skydiving 2 weeks ago. Uh, Yesterday, I rode a mechanical bull and climbed up a slide and went down it. I mean, I'm not afraid to try things.
Yeah, that's awesome. How'd the mechanical bull go?
Oh, I didn't last long, but they it was like I had to have three men put me up on it. Uh, and the operator was trying to be real gentle, and I'm like, I was spanking the bull, and like, let's go, let me have some fun. And I didn't last long, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
the water slide was heck to climb up on because they've got these little stubs for the ladder. But I had my daughter behind me pushing, and my grandson above me, and I would lock into a rope, and it was slow and it was not pretty, but God, it was fun.
yeah,
Oh,
I bet.
anyway, just I'm trying to show my people too that you can be in a dark place, but you do not have to stay there. That's staying there is your choice.
Yeah.
Getting out of figuring things out is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm sorry I didn't mean to take over. I just feel
No,
strong.
you're just sharing your truth. Uh, oh, I was gonna mention one other thing about these. To install them, I use a pipe wrench.
Mhm.
Uh, and then there's a pipe wrench. There's also this strap pipe wrench that you can use. I also use that sometimes to open jars. So it's funny because when I was doing my turkey video, I used a sawzall to cut the turkey in half to spatchcock the
Awesome.
turkey.
Mhm.
And
Awesome.
the ladies were like, "Well, at least you could get a carving knife." And I'm like, "Why get a carving knife when I already have a sawzall?"
Yeah.
That's worth a video.
Yeah,
Didn't think. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
As I believe that all the things we have for building stuff are just as good as the kitchen stuff, probably stronger, you know?
Mm.
So sometimes I'll be using this Sawzall in the kitchen.
I haven't thought of that. That's a great idea on actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Sam, you have any videos of you painting and cutting in?
Oh, painting?
Yeah.
You talking about cutting in where the lines meet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. But you know what I do? I get these little small brushes right here, like this. They're little art,
Right.
they're little art brushes.
Art
There's
Mhm.
some
brushes.
that's
Yeah.
really tiny. And if you get them, it's harder to mess up, uh, and easier to keep the line because you could go little at a time. I
So
think
you
one of the things is you
a
got to be patient,
knife, right?
huh? So
You're
just
just
like,
gonna hold knife.
yeah, just like I hold the knife, I'm gonna hold this brush. Well, not this one. This one's too fat. But yeah, you can see these are even tinier, and you could hold it like you're gonna hold a knife. Where I bind the
Yep.
tail end against this thumb, and now I can go like this. And then sometimes I'll use both hands by like this to make it really steady.
Mhm.
If I
Okay.
grab my wrist like that, it makes it really steady. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. The other one I'll do is I'll get this insulating pipe insulator. But that art paintbrush set came out of Walmart, so it's not hard to find. But we know what this is, pipe
Yep.
insulator, right?
Sure.
You take a razor knife, cut it to the size of your handle of your paintbrush, and you put this on your paintbrush, take off the sticky paper. Then it's like having a cushion that fills up your hook, and then you get a better hold on it. I'm not saying you're never going to drop it, but you drop it less than if you try to do it without it.
Probably get less paint on you too.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of shorts that are ruined because of paint, but I just go play basketball and I'll just be like, "Are you guy? Is that guy a painter?" Yeah, I'm a painter.
Or we could learn to paint like Anya does with her feet.
Oh
Heck,
my God.
No
that's
So,
fun.
kidding.
Well,
so
some
important.
of us.
She got a lot of flexibility.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think I even saw her putting on makeup, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
She
Amazing.
got a lot of flexibility. Uh, yep. Do you all have bidets?
Yes,
I
I
do.
do.
I have a bidet.
Yep.
I was gonna
Uh,
give a day,
yeah,
but
I a bidet before my accident or my before my sepsis, but it was a dial. And when I came home from the rehab center, we had ordered a push button bidet,
mhm,
and it's worked great for me.
good.
Uh,
Well,
speaking of, go ahead.
I have that dial bidet. But what I ended up doing is getting a small like 6-inch wood clamp, clamping it onto the dial, and then just used it as a lever
Oh,
Oh,
to turn it on and off.
yeah.
Yep.
Make a bigger dial.
so while we're on bidet subject, uh, I was like 3 weeks ago gifted a body tornado, a full body dryer
Mhm.
in the shower from the No White Flags project.
Oh, okay.
They they, they asked me if I needed any bathroom remodeling or a bidet, which is what made me think of this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I already had a bidet, and I didn't want to take something to upgrade because this one works just fine. And we had built a house 5 years ago, and I had had bad legs the last several years. So, anticipating me being on a walker, we have wide hallways for everything. So,
Mhm.
didn't need a bathroom remodel. I was very fortunate in that way. But I dang sure took them up on that body dryer, and that thing, oh my God, it's amazing.
Steve,
Um,
they installed that for you, right, Steve?
yes, yeah. All I
Yeah.
had to do, I did a little review for them. I did a little video for them, but I had to do nothing else of it. And actually, Sean is the one that hooked me up with them. Uh, Sean has been an amazing source. Sorry.
Hear me?
Oh, hey, Sean.
You got a check for $5,600.
What?
She said you got a check for $5,600.
A check.
That's my wife. That's my wife talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I, I,
My day
I,
just improved.
yeah.
Great.
I'd like to share with you guys, but
Yeah.
we just
No,
met.
did you earned it, buddy? That's fine. That's fine. But I tell you what, that body hurricane, if you ever get a chance or get it offered, it's pretty amazing.
I
I live down south where it's warm most of the time, but um, it's a uh, it is a dryer, but I find it heats up the towel and it can run while the shower is running, so it just I don't have a cold shower at all. And after I turn the water off, I kick it up on high and just sit there, and it it goes around everything I let it it circles around me
Hmm.
as like a tornado would, and dries me off in places I can't reach with my stubs.
yeah.
Pretty amazing. But I've dealt with a guy named Art that with the No White Flags project, and he has just been he just he's been a great guy, but he just seems like somebody I could have a cup of coffee or drink a beer with.
Yeah.
Good guy, and he really seems to want to help our community. So
Yeah.
anyway, just if y'all don't know about the No White Flags project, uh, if you get a chance, I ask you to look them up and see what they're about, because they're about helping people like us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
he was at Skills for Life 6, and he was giving those out then too.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
I'm sure he'll probably be there on at 7.
Oh, good. That and
Yeah.
when is that one? Do
It's
we have a
in
date?
Uh,
October of
Okay. I
15th,
should.
16th, 17th or something like that. Or
Okay.
of October of 25, somewhere in October 25.
Is it down in Houston?
Houston.
Okay, good. I can drive there. That's fine. Right, my wife can drive me. Yeah.
Where you live, Steve?
I live about 30 minutes below Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're in
Uh,
Texas.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I live in a small town, but it's Dallas is the closest place people would recognize.
Mm-hmm.
But so far from Dallas, so far from Dallas.
I just came home from a cruise recently, and one of the fellows on there was a double below the knee, and he also had lost the use of one hand as a result of an accident. But what was impressive is he's been uh, like that since he was 19, and he's now 85, so 66 years,
Oh
Wow.
wow.
a double amputee. He's had an amazing life. It was really fun talking to him. He's from Florida.
Wow.
Lee, it's funny you say that. I just turned 65 here a couple of weeks ago. This was my birthday skydive. I
Congratulations.
thank you. I turned 65. I've never been on a cruise, and I call this life Steve's Life Part Two, and we booked a cruise out of Miami in June, and I've never been on one before, so I'm going as the quad amputee, but
You'll love it.
I'm looking forward to it. So
Yeah, I really enjoyed ours.
I hear that they're really accommodating, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go for it and have a great time and figure things out as we go.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I went on a cruise, amputee cruise. This lady organized it. And I went twice. It was pretty fun.
Are you doing
Yeah.
another one?
I haven't seen her do one, but every year she's at Amputee Coalition advertising her thing. But that would be a fun trip, is do Skills for Life on an amputee on a cruise boat.
That that
Yeah.
that would be good. Maybe that would be my first time on a cruise then, because I've never been
Yeah.
on one either.
One of
Yeah.
the big challenges for me was the plastic key for your door. I had to clamp onto it, try to get it in the door slot, and then pull it out at the correct, what would you call it, speed to make the green light go on. So I'd have it in my teeth first, get it ready, and then clamp onto it, and then try to get through the door before it closed on me again.
Oh,
I'm
Did
sure
it?
that was probably worth a video right there.
Yeah.
I had I enjoy going to casinos. Did before and have went. I guess I went 3 times since my body work. But handling that card,
Mm-hmm.
I guess,
Well,
give me what
the
Lee's
good
talking.
the good news, Steve, is you'll lose money slower.
That's good. Well, I know on the card that I use at the casino, I just have it around on a lanyard, and I can just
Mm.
keep it on my neck. That way, when I do drop it, and I always drop it, but when I do drop it, then it's on my lanyard. But that's there too. So anyway, yeah,
You're lucky though. I guess you're lucky that they're not the old school casinos where you had to put quarters in the slots.
yeah. I figured it out too, boy. I tell you what, I miss those days. Oh, I loved hearing that ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
It was that was nice, but that I wouldn't go back. Seriously, we were in Vegas. In fact, we come back from Vegas just under 2 weeks before my sepsis hit. We had done a week in Vegas, did a helicopter tour down in the Grand Canyon and the whole thing. But we stayed in a hotel downtown that had some coin machines.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried a couple of times, and I'm just like, this wasn't as cool as what I was thinking it was. This is kind of nasty. So, anyway, so much for that.
I think it's interesting to think about like being an amputee now versus being an amputee back then. And it's crazy how much technology has improved life
Yeah.
for us amputees. Like having the debit cards and not having to count out cash and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Even Venmo and all that stuff is just makes life
Sam,
different.
I talk to my bunch quite often. Uh, this, I believe, is probably the best time ever to be an amputee because of technology in so many ways. It it I know that I don't have the challenges that people did 10 and 15 years ago. Is light years difference. Light years difference.
Even the connectivity of everyone being able to see everyone's video and talk to each other from far away.
Yeah, I'm not on an island
Yeah.
and just not meeting everybody.
Yeah.
And I really have one of the biggest things that has helped my insides is a sense of community. Uh, People that I normally would have never met in real life and never had no reason to, because I believe most of the amputees that I have been interacting with are really, really strong individuals inside,
Yeah.
really strong personalities, and they uplift me. You guys uplift me,
Yeah.
and I feel like we feed off each other.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's another thing that technology has been better for us.
Right. So there's something I participate in also Phoenix Burn Society. And they talk about how important community uh is. And like it helps to not feel like you're the only one in the whole world that has that same problem.
For sure.
Most
When you,
definitely.
Yeah,
when you feel like you're
yeah.
the pioneer, you're the one blazing the trail, then you're like, oh man, this is much harder. And then when you feel like you're not alone, then it becomes a lot easier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I, the short time I've been with y'all, uh, Sam. I mean, obviously, I don't know how long you've been an amputee, but you're 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 dialed in. I've met Andy in person, just love him to death. Him and his brother were just greatness. And Lee, I already know that you're a peer uh, counselor type guy. So I think we all know the value of actually self help when we're helping others, how
Mhm.
much it helps us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I
Yeah.
just know it's something that I'm being pulled. My heart is pulling me into, and you guys that have been doing this already, I look to you guys' success. Hoping that I can. I tell you what, and I don't mean this to sound vain, but my county where I'm at, my Ellis County, uh, there's not a amputee group in my county. I reached out to another amputee I met that's in the next town to me, and we've had 3 meetings now. Uh, we're having an amputee support and caregiver support groups, and we're slowly adding every meeting. We're slowly adding 2 or 3 people, and like 2 of the 3 meetings, we had somebody that goes, "I've been amputated for 4 years, 3 years, whatever, and I've never met another amputee. I don't, I didn't know this. Of course, the group didn't exist, but there's a need out there for people to join in with each other."
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Before it's been an hour. If you guys don't have any questions, we can close this meeting. But before we do that, I want to try and find a good time to have this meeting every month. And I was going to ask you guys, how is this time for you guys?
It's
Sunday.
good. It's good for me that if I go to church that day, I'll be out. Uh, it's good for me. But whatever y'all end up deciding, I'll roll with. I don't. I mean, this time is good, but I am open for anything else if another time works better. It's enough value to me that I will make it happen to where I'm there.
Okay, so you'll make whatever time work. How about you,
Yeah.
Lee?
This works really well for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sundays are usually pretty good day.
Like what if we
No
went,
appointments or anything going on
what time zone are you on, Lee?
this time.
Pacific.
Pacific.
So I'm 2 hours behind you.
You're 1 hour behind me because I'm in Utah.
Okay.
Oh, cool. I'm in Texas, so I'm central.
All right. So I want to try maybe the evening a little later, like 5 p.m. ish, 6
That
p.m.
works for me.
Okay, we'll try a Sunday later. I wanted to try to get earlier because we can catch Australia sometimes if we go a little earlier. But I'm gonna keep on surveying people and seeing what they need, what time works for them. But it's good to have your guys' input.
Well,
If
thank you for having this.
Yeah, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. And if you have any other questions, just post it on the thing. Everyone's happy to share how they do whatever it is they're doing. So don't be afraid to ask.
Sounds
Right.
good.
Great.
All right.
Thanks, Sam.
You guys have a
Thank you,
good
Sam.
All
Sunday.
right,
Lee,
guys. Nice meeting you.
good to see you.
All
Yeah.
right. Nice meeting you,
You
Lee.
guys.
Bye-bye.
See you, Steve.
Bye.
Bye, Sam.
Bye.